Namaste. My name is Cassie, and I am a 200-hour certified yoga instructor based in Southern New York. And today I'm here at the beautiful Dragonfly Wellness Yoga Studio in Ossining, New York, to share with you a variation of what's called a sun salutation sequence. So if you're new to yoga, a sun salutation is just a series of movements that we often do in yoga that kind of helps to warm up the entire body just through one step at a time. So I'm going to talk you through it, and we're going to keep it nice and beginner friendly. So to start, we're going to begin standing. And you'll come kind of close to the top of your mat. So that way as we move around, you'll have some space to move backwards. So you can bring your feet together or slightly apart. That's really up to you, whatever's comfortable. And we'll start with the hands at the heart center. Just taking a few breaths in mountain pose or basic standing. Taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose or your mouth, just to get centered and situated. The sun salutations are a great way to begin your day or to just begin your yoga practice. All right, so as you're ready, let's breathe in, sweeping your arms up and overhead. And I don't know if you can see my hands, but they don't have to touch. So we'll take another big breath in before you exhale to bend forward from your hips, reaching your hands down towards the floor. Now your hands don't have to touch the mat. If they can, that's great. But if they're just hanging in space, that's fine too. So when you're ready, you'll bring your hands onto your shins or the floor if you can touch it. And you'll take a breath in to lift through your head, neck, and shoulders, taking a nice long stretch. And then as you exhale, you'll bend the knees as much as you need to bring your hands down to the floor. And we'll come to step the right foot back behind us as you bring the right knee down to the mat. Your right toes can tuck under, or you can release them, really whatever's comfortable. As you slowly bring your hands up onto your left thigh, finding your way to a low lunge. So you can stay right here. Maybe your hands come to your heart center. Or if you feel like your balance is steady, you might inhale, lifting your arms up and overhead. And we'll take just 2 breaths here in this low lunge, or Anjaneyasana if you like Sanskrit. Beautiful. Let's take one more big breath in, maybe reaching up through your fingertips. As you exhale, to bring your hands all the way down to the mat. And you'll bring that left leg back to meet the right, finding your table pose. So we will come to the other side, but first, first take a breath in, and then exhale to come all the way down onto the belly. And this doesn't have to be graceful. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows bent, bring the elbows in close to your body as you root your pelvis and the tops of your feet into the floor. Breathing in, come to lift your head, neck, and your shoulders up, finding a baby cobra. Exhale, releasing down. Let's do that 2 more times as you inhale, curling up. Exhale to lower. Last one as you breathe in and breathing out. And from here, we're going to come back up to our tabletop so you can push into your hands to come on up. And from here, we're going to find our first downward facing dog. So you'll take your hands and bring them forward a little bit. I like to do about a palm's distance. As you come to tuck your toes underneath you. Breathing in, you'll lift your knees and your hips all the way up, drawing your hips back as if to create a V shape out of your body. So you'll see that my heels don't quite reach the floor, and I keep a generous bend in my knees. And I tell you this so that you know that you can do the exact same thing if that's what feels good in your body. So you might decide to kind of walk your feet in place here. So bending through one knee and then the other knee. And downward dog works through the whole body at once. So we'll take just one more breath in And then as you exhale, gently float your knees down to the floor. As we come to bring the right foot up between the hands. And then taking your time, you'll find your low lunge on this side. And it can take more balance than you might think. Oops, see, almost lost my own footing there. As your hands come to your heart. And then breathing in, you might sweep the arms up and overhead. And again, you can keep the hands separated when they're overhead, or you might bring your palms to touch. And we'll take just 2 more breaths here. Last big breath in, reaching all the way up into your fingertips. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. As you bring your right leg back to meet your left. And from your tabletop, we'll once again come down to the belly, just for 2 more cobras. So once again, hands under the shoulders. So this first cobra will be another baby cobra. So as you root the pelvis and the tops of the feet, inhale, just curling head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhaling to release. So if you want to bring a little more challenge to this cobra, maybe you come up a little higher. So as you inhale, you begin to press down into your hands and start to straighten your arms as head, neck, and shoulders lift. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, lowering all the way down. And we'll take 1 last downward facing dog. So we'll come up through table, adjusting your hands and feet as you need to, before lifting the knees and the hips up and off the ground. And again, you might choose to kind of walk the dog here by bending through one knee and the other. And as we start to work our way back to standing, know that you could just stand up, but if you want to continue the flow, you'll inhale to look up between your hands and see if you can kind of walk your feet up to the top of your mat. So you're in this bent over forward fold shape. And we'll take 1 more inhale, hands to shins, as you reach the head, neck, and shoulders nice and long. Exhaling to fold forward. And when you're ready, you'll breathe in, arms sweep out and up as you rise up to stand. Exhaling to bring your hands down to your heart center. And the great thing about a sun salutation flow is that you can do that as many times as you want. And you can even change the flow up so that it works for you and what you need in the moment. So whether you choose to continue your practice or this is all the time you have, this is where I will be leaving you. So thank you so much for practicing with me, and I hope that this sun salutation was helpful. Namaste.